So I've entitled this talk today, A New Approach for Practitioners. There is always new information coming out in dermatophytosis, so some of this you'll say, well, we already knew this, but there are a few new bits that have come out, and I'd like to just tell you about some of the talks that I went to at Florence a couple of weeks ago. One of them was given by Doug DeBoer, and some of his information has been included in this webinar. So the information that you're seeing today is obviously mine, but we've also tried to infuse some of the cutting edge stuff coming from Dr. DeBoer, who is one of the authorities on ringworm in the world. We couldn't get him here today, so you got the second best thing, you've got me. Great. Okay, so what I'd like to try and do today, my objectives really are that at the end of the webinar today, you understand the different types of dermatophytes, that you'll be able to recognize lesions, that you'll know the importance of fungal culture in cats. We really should, as part of our baseline database, with any cat with a dermatological problem, look to be doing a fungal culture. Realize that dermatophytosis is rare in dogs. Some people, see a lesion on a dog, a round lesion, which usually is an epidermal collarette, and they immediately think of dermatophytosis. And of course, that's not the case. So I'm hoping that if you are of that opinion, you will have changed your mind by the end of the lecture. I'd like to go through some of the different treatment approaches, and there are different ones depending on the situation in the household. Is it a single cat? Are there multiple cats? A dog you would treat differently from a cat, and so on and so forth. But I will want to spend some time on looking at this multi-cat household or cattery type situation. Really three groups of dermatophytes that we can classify, and this is based on where they tend to live. So we have geophilic dermatophytes such as Microsporum gypsum, which are found in the soil but which can infect animals. We have zoophilic ones, which really are found on animals and are transferred between animals and really, can't live in the soil or don't do very well in the soil in the natural environment. And then we have anthropophilic dermatophytes such as Microsporum auduini, which is a human dermatophyte and tends to just stick around in human skin. Obviously, Microsporum canis, as you know, is zoonotic, so that can jump species as well. Cats invariably get Microsporum canis, but we have noticed recently that there have been Microsporum persicula recognized in the literature, Trichophyton, and also Microsporum gypsum. It's worth saying that occasionally we even see organisms such as Trichophyton rubrum, which is the human form that causes athlete's foot. Now, when you get something like that back off a sample, you have to think that that could be a carriage of an organism which the cat has actually caught from the human. So rather than the other way around, where cats tend to be blamed for everything that goes on in a household as far as ringworm goes, this is a case where it can go the other way. And, it may just be a carriage of an organism. It's a carrier of it, but it's not really significant. You may be able to tell the owner that they need to go and get their athlete's feet sorted out. Dogs get a number of species, Microsporum canis, M. gypsum, M. persicula, and Trichophyton mentagrophytes. Humans can also get a number. Obviously, M. canis, we see that quite commonly in our practices where somebody's come in with a couple of cats that they've just acquired and they also have lesions on them. So it is well worth asking those sort of questions. If you have a cat with lesions, you've obviously got to make them aware that it is a zoonotic disease and they must be careful with that. And then very briefly, because I don't have huge amounts of experience in this, horses tend to get Trichophyton, cattle get Trichophyton verrucosum and mentagrophytes, and sheep also get Trichophyton verrucosum.